Hey everyone, so the last time I did this I used the Slate Trigger presets, and today I thought I would show you how to do it in Pro Tools with just audio files. So I've got this video of me playing my lovely Trixon kit, and I recorded it on my phone. That sounds like this. So it's just a stereo file. So I'm going to talk you through and show you how to go about sample replacing that. So the first thing I'm going to do is duplicate this track. So I've got the sample replace track, and I'm going to call this okay, so the first thing I want to do, so I'm just literally just playing this. I recorded this as just like a test. I did actually record it with microphones. It's a great sounding kit. It sounds very different to these samples. The first thing I'm going to do is try and get the grid sort of working in my favour. So I'm going to just hide the video for the minute, and let's just see what we've got. So I'll mute the video. So that's the first bar. So I'm going to go through tab to transient and just get each bar. We know that this is 1 bar long because I've just chopped it to that. So I'm going to make the timeline fit. So the way I'm going to do this is use Command I, and then this second location here, I'm going to type bar 2, and it immediately goes bar 2 beat 1 0 0 0. So now that will give me the tempo of 69 beats per minute, and then I'll do the same thing for each of these bars. So you see how it's just a little bit over the 3 bar mark, or the 3rd bar mark. So I'll do that here, and it will just sort of give me bar 4. So nice 4 bar loop. So that gives us like a tempo map of everything. That's going to make our lives a lot easier. So the next thing I need to do is I'm just going to duplicate this. Let's go with one. Actually, I only need one, don't I? Because I need a kick and a snare. Okay, so I'm going to call this one kick original. Call this snare original. So I'm just working to the original phone recording, and what I want to do here is create kind of like a map to put the samples to. So this first one I'm calling kick. So what I want to do is just go through and really loosely just go through, and I'm using A on the keypad. I'm on the key focus key commands. So I'm going to grab all of those with object, and Logic users will recognize this feature. I'm going to then just hold down Alt and drag these down and then delete them, and what this will give me is a start on the snare. So if we listen to those two together, it should sound like the original. I'm actually going to duplicate that snare again. Should have done that at the beginning, and just call that hats. I'm using Control to scrub. Does anyone have that thing where you accidentally press the wrong key command and it all goes wild? Okay, so I'm separating these all out, so when I come to grab my samples, it's going to be way easier to just drop them in super quick. Okay, so now what I should have is I should have just the kicks. I should have just the snares. Just the hi-hats that are by themselves. Obviously there's hi-hats and snares playing, but okay, so now I'm going to pick some samples that will fit within this. Let's go over to Finder. So I think I'm going to use the stems. So I'm going to grab the close mics. So the stems have close, overheads and rooms. So I'm going to grab all of the close ones. Just hide those out of the way for the time being, and then I'm going to colour my tracks. What I'm going to do with the kick drum, the grabber tool, I'm holding down Control and Alt. So I select the audio file that I want and then holding down Control and Alt, it should align it. Now there's going to be a couple like this one there that it doesn't do that, and we'll come back to those. Probably need to have a different sample for that, but we'll see where we get to with just the straight up samples first. The idea is just to get something happening really quick. It's probably going to sound pretty robotic to begin with, but that's okay because we can always fix that. Especially as we're using just like the one velocity, which is going to sound pretty. Let's do the snare real quick. Just burn through all of these. So I'm going to grab that, Control and Alt again. So this one is like a kind of drag or a double hit. So I'm just going to zoom in and sort of roughly guess where that is. Okay, it's kind of cool, it works. Maybe it'd be nice to add some room onto that. So I'm going to just grab, I'm just going to do it on the snare hit. So I'm going to grab the overheads. That's kind of cool, but maybe the rooms. I happen to know that the delay in the actual room at Otterhead from the overheads was 2 milliseconds, and to the room mics is 8. I know this because a plugin that I'm working on, I had to make the presets. So 166. That's kind of cool. Now the hi-hats are going to be a bit harder. So I tend to try and put some of the original tracks in there and maybe just trying to add some of the, like the kick and the snare. Hi-hats can be tricky to program this way. It's a lot easier if you just make like a little quick contact instrument. Okay, so I'm going to colour that yellow because that is the colour of all drums, obviously. Make inactive. Always. Yeah, obviously. Idiot. Yeah, well done, James. Yeah, it gets a bit rubbish around that middle bit, doesn't it? So I'm actually going to replace the hi-hats. I said I wasn't, but it's not. So the fun begins. And you could use like strip silence, or you could use Beat Detective to do this, but I'm actually just going to knock through them real quick. Years ago when I was an assistant, somebody just told me to never listen to samples, just literally look for them, which I don't know if that's good advice, but it does sort of make things go a bit quicker. That open hi-hat. Right, we're not doing too badly, a couple of bars in. I find it's quite nice whilst doing this to watch TV, because it is literally the most boring thing ever. Yes, Alt, Command and V, which is fill the space. I forget all these bloody key commands, to be honest. Right, let's try it. Oh, I did it on the wrong hi-hat because I'm an idiot. There we go. Okay. So I feel like there's some hi-hats missing. Right, let's just have a bit of a clean. Let's do a bit of tidying up here quickly. Any of those. Let's put those into something. New track. West drums. First of all, Plugin Alliance. I love a bit of the 80 channel. It's so good. Probably Pro Tools hates this plugin for some reason. It always goes a bit nuts whenever I use it. But never mind. Other drum bus things that I like. This might be illegal. I love the L2, so I'm going to use it. It kind of works. This to we could go in and we could change some of the velocities of the kick maybe. It doesn't totally match up with the vibe of the original kit, but I hope this gives you an idea of how you might go about doing this. Dream Kit One Shots Volume 1 is available now from Magitone, where you get tracks, stems, and mixed versions of these samples. In this video I've used the stems. There's a link in the description below to show how you could use the trigger presets, which are the mixed versions of those. Thanks very much. Remember to like and subscribe if you found this helpful.